All right, here we go. My name's Jeff K, and you're listening to episode 316 of the world-famous West Virginia Surf Report podcast.
Hello, world.
Bought a new laptop over the weekend. Pretty excited about it. I love gadgetry. Man, do I love it. Nothing gets my heart pumping faster than, well, there's probably a few things, but you know what I'm saying. Love gadgetry. So I've been hemming and hawing, kind of hemming and hawing, and put probably a little heavier on the hawing. I don't know if you know, it's probably not evenly distributed, but anyway. I've been dragging. I've been going to stores and just checking them out. And every time I go to Costco, I look, and every time I go there, I'm not really ready to pull the trigger. There's like the perfect thing. It's like, oh my God, that's it. That's in the price point that I want to spend. That has all the specs that I'm looking for, and that's it. But I'm not ready to pull the trigger yet. So Tony goes, well, every time we come here, you find something. I'm saying, yeah, okay. When I'm ready, I'll. This might be the place. But I go to Staples, who people don't really think of Staples for a computer, but they have really good prices, and they have they often surprisingly good deals too. So I go to Staples, I go to Best Buy, I go to Sam's. We don't have a Costco near us. It's like an hour away. It's down in Allentown, more than an hour, as a matter of fact. So we don't go there. We go maybe once a month. We go down there, and so I've been hemming and hawing, trying to decide what I want to do. I don't know. Should I do it now? Should I wait? I don't know why. Why do I punish? Why do I torture myself? So finally, I said I want to buy. I don't know. A few days ago, I said I want to. This has to end. I want to buy a laptop this weekend. And Tony said, well, we're due a trip to Costco. Just want to hold off and see what they have. I said, hell yeah. So I was excited. I was going to go down there because they always have really good deals. Went down there, nothing. I mean, they had good laptops, but they were expensive, more than I wanted to spend. So I was disappointed in that. How come the last time I was there, I was like, oh my God, this thing's perfect. And also, I might add, why didn't I just buy the stupid thing? That's another question that somebody could ask, So anyway, I went down there. I didn't want to spend over $600. I don't do it. I'm not gaming and shit like that. I just need something I can go on the internet, and I need something that I can write on. Like, I use this program called Scrivener, and I just want to install that on there and sync it up with my other Scriveners, on my desktop. I want to sync it up so that they're both, working on the same project, back it up in Dropbox. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. That's what I want. Because my old laptop, I've talked about this. I think they put some kind of clock in them. And I think it's, as soon as you start using it, the clock starts running, right? And it's going to slow down over time to the point where you have to buy a new one because it's driving you insane. It takes you turn the thing on, you may as well go take a shower, maybe make a sandwich, and then when you come back, it'll be booted up, So freaking slow, and I think they build that into them. Like, how can it get so slow? I got that thing stripped down to the bare bones. It's not loaded up. Tony always says, well, you got so much shit on there. I said, there's no shit on there at all. It's shit-free. The thing is stripped down. I have nothing on there. Anything I have that I want to keep, I put into a folder on Dropbox, which is in the cloud. It's not on the computer. So the thing is like bare bones. Oh, I forgot to turn my phone off. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? So why would it slow down? It's not that old. I mean, I guess it's a few years old. But the thing is so slow, it's maddening. So anyway, went down there to the Costco in Allentown. They didn't have jack shit. Nothing for me, you know. They had stuff in there that was like $800 and $1,000. I'm not paying that much. I don't need that I don't need that level of, you know, I'm not going to be running massive spreadsheets or gaming or any of that shit. That's not, it's not for me, right? So I was disappointed in that. We walked around Costco, bought like $100. Every time we go there and we just buy a few items, it's like $100, you know. Got a hot dog, one of their hot dog deal, that $1.50. Man, that was kicking. That's a substantial hot dog, you know. And it's $1.50, you know. It's always been $1.50, and they say it always will be. So anyway, I got that, and then we went to Shangy's, the beer emporium, where they have. I mean, it's like the biggest beer store I've ever seen in my life. We bought some shit, you know, some stuff, you know. We bought some, I don't know. I think we bought some Trogs Lollihop. In fact, I know we did a 6-pack. It's one of those special edition. It's a double IPA. It's only going to be available for a short while. Never seen it anywhere. I saw on Instagram that they released it. And I've never actually seen it in a store, so I bought a 6-pack of that. We bought some kind of stuff, I don't know. Like, they had this closeout section. It's like, I guess, the stuff that's they're trying to get rid of. And usually it's stuff, it's bizarre stuff, like watermelon and stuff. You know, I'm not drinking that. You know, it's all kinds of bizarre stuff. But they had this one, it was an IPA. It got a really high rating in Beer Advocate. They had a case of it. And it's a case of 16-ounce cans. I mean, these aren't regular 12-ounce. So these are, and it cost $29. And the date was still, you know. So about a case of that shit, you know, I don't know. I mean, I haven't had any yet, but, you know, we got a case of it. And I know some other stuff. I got some, what is that? What is that stuff from Rhode Island? I can't remember. It's some kind of old man beer. It's been around since like the 20s or something. I think they were drinking it in Jaws. You know what that is? It's just some lager, some mass-produced thing, but it's a New England thing. I never see that. Every time there's a list on the internet of the best cheap beers, it's always listed on there. I've never even tasted it, you know. So they had a 30-pack of that. How about that? I haven't had one yet, but what is that stuff? It's got some kind of long Narragansett or Nanagasset or something along those lines. Anyway, so we did that. And then we went back to, we went home, and Tony's like, I don't want to go to Best Buy. I don't want to go to Staples. I'm done for the day. I'm like, oh, here we go. It's going to drag out to Sunday. You know, it's going to drag out. I should have pulled the trigger 2 weeks ago. So the next day we went over. Well, that night I went on the Best Buy website, and they were having some kind of weekend sale. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday only. They had certain items with fairly large discounts, and that's where there was a laptop down at Costco, and it was $700. Tony goes, just get it. It's $100 difference. I said, I put in a $600 cap. That one's $700. She goes, whatever, $100. Do you think we're gonna notice $100 in the grand scheme of things? I said, that's not the point. I said, I have rules. She goes, yeah, but you're just pulling these rules out of your ass. They're not based on anything. I said, we have to have a budget. The hell. So I didn't buy it. Right. It was good. It was exactly what I was looking for, but it was $100 more than I wanted to spend. So they had, and I don't know if it's the exact same model, right? I don't know. So, but it looks exactly the same. It's an HP, like a 17-inch screen, like a large laptop, and all the specs, if I remember correctly, are the same. It might be the same computer. I think it is. And I got it for $449. It was $230 off on that weekend sale. So if we'd have pulled the trigger on that one at Costco, it would have cost $700. I got it for $449. I think it's the same computer. I'm not 100% sure. But it's very similar, and it looks exactly the same. And see? Do you see the growth? Do you see my growth? I think I need to be applauded for. I mean, 5 years ago, definitely 10 years ago, I'd have said, hell yeah, let's just buy this one. Especially if she's telling me to do it. You know, I'm giving the green light. Let's just get this one at Costco. I'd have said, yeah, I want the instant gratification. I want that shit right now. You know, but I said, no. And I went back to Best Buy near our house and got it for $450. It's unbelievable. It's like a really good computer. It costs $150 less than my cap that I put, my arbitrary cap that I, quote, pulled out of my ass, as Tony so, dismissively, characterized it. Anyway, so my hemming and hawing paid off this time, But I tell you what, last night I was setting it up, and I was setting it up, and at the beginning when you're doing the whole setup project, the setup. What's the word I'm looking for? Process. God, the whole setup process. It asks for your Microsoft login, and we have it said for you so you can use Word and Office, all the Office stuff. So we have an Office subscription. Tony got it years ago when the boys were in school, and we've maintained it. It's for the whole family. It's under her name. So I said, what's the login for that Office bullshit, And she gave it to me, and I logged in, and I set the whole computer up, but it was, so I don't know, the whole thing was in her name. When you logged into the computer, it said, hello, Tony, hi, Tony, all this stuff. And it like recreated her desktop on my, I'm like, what the? And I couldn't figure out how to change the user, the thing. The thing was, that shit was hardwired in. So immediately, as soon as I set the thing up, I screwed it up. Now I got it under somebody else's name. It's got her documents and everything. Oh, I was freaking fired up, So I was like, I don't know what to do. I can't get it to thing. She goes, just take it back to factory settings. I said, hey, good idea. I didn't even think about that. So so the whole process, it's a process. I think I know what I'm doing. I mean, I can't be, I don't, that's not one of those deals where, what's wrong with you, Pops? What the hell's wrong with you? Why would you do that? I mean, it said to use with Word and Excel and stuff. That's Tony's login for that. But then it set up the whole computer under her. I don't know, the whole thing. I got it all. I took it back to factory settings. I went through the process again, and I put my own login in. And whenever I need Word or whatever, I'll just cross that bridge when I get to it. But, I'm working on it. I got Scrivener on there, although it's not syncing up with my project, which is a novel that I've been working on. I don't want to get anybody excited, but I am working on a novel, and it's pretty funny. So far, I think it's don't expect any kind of literature. But you know who you're dealing with. But do expect some laughs, I think. I think there'll be some laughs in here. It's not going to be, it's not going to be it's not going to make you re-examine the way you look at the world or anything, but it might make you laugh. I mean, this is the goal I have. That's all. I don't have such high hopes. But anyway, I did install Scrivener 3, and but it's not syncing up. I'll deal with it. I'll figure it out. Whatever. I used to freak out about this kind of stuff. Like, oh my God, it's not working. What is going on? But now I'm just like, I'll figure it out. Whatever. Roll with it. Who gives a shit? At some point I'll figure that shit out. Whatever. God. So anyway, that happened. Watching this show on, before I get to that, Tony and I watched the first episode of season 3 of Ted Lasso. Fantastic. Although there are some mumblers on that show. I can't hear them. Like, I can't understand what they're saying. It has nothing to do with their accent or anything. It's a British show. Well, it's set in England. And, and it's got a lot of characters on there that have different accents. It's a soccer team, like a football team. And it has players from all over the world, and they all have different accents and stuff. It's not that. It's not the accents. It's the mumbling, especially this character named Nate. Like, enunciate, you son of a bitch. I can't hear a word. I can't hear anything. Like, I can't hear it. I never know what they're saying. Or, not everybody, but, some of the characters, I don't know what they're saying. I'm like, what did he say? Like some old man. What did that guy say? God, turning into some grandpa over there. So anyway, we watched that thing, and it's excellent. Like one of the best shows ever, Such a good show. They're only releasing one episode a week, like it's 1984, and they're just, so we watched the first one, and then afterwards, after Tony went to bed and the boys went to bed or whatever, I came down here to my office and I rewatched it on my computer with headphones, and then I could pick up. You know what else they do is there's a lot of scenes where they're texting, and it just shows a shot of their phone, I can't see that either. I guess I am. I'm like a broken down old piece of shit. It's like I can't see like what's on the screen, like on their phone screen. It's like what is all this reading on this thing? Why is there so much reading involved? I mean, I don't have any problem with reading it. So I can't see it, and I can't hear all that mumbling. Man, the degradation clearly is, it's profound already. I can't. So anyway, I came down here and I watched the episode again on my computer with headphones, and it was fantastic. I picked, then I could see it because I'm sitting, in front of my computer, and I could hear everything, and so much better. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, we loved it. We love that show. That thing's fantastic. We went out yesterday and had a couple of beers at the Backyard Ale House, and basically just talked about Ted Lasso. That was a big part of the conversation. Got these fantastic pretzels. They have these pretzels. That place has great food, and they always have a great beer list. It's a fun place to go. We really like it. We usually go on either a Saturday or a Sunday in the afternoon. And we used to get these homemade potato chips, but they're kind of, I don't know. We didn't like them the last couple times. I don't know what's going on with those. But they have these pretzels, and they have this, like, I don't know what it is. It's like some kind of cheese dip, like almost like a queso almost. And then they also have a little tub of screwshia. I mean, it's a mustard that'll clear your sinuses. You dip that thing, eat some of that mustard, just like, your nose is running. Both holes of your nose is like streaming out of there. So anyway, so we love that, and they always have really interesting beers. So we sat there and talked about Ted Lasso, basically. That was probably 75% of the conversation. It's a great show. It's highly recommended. Apple TV. And also, I'm watching myself. Speaking of, there's a lot of reading involved. I'm watching this show called The Glory. It's on Netflix. It's about this woman, this who was, when she was in high school. It's a Korean show that's made in Korea, and all the dialogue is in Korean. It's a Korean show, so it has it has what do you call it? Subtitles. It has subtitles, and it's about this woman who, when she was in high school at this boarding school, these rich kids were shitty to her, like abused her, belittled her, humiliated her, burned her with a curling iron and all this stuff, like over and over. I mean, just like I mean, they were just like evil, So it was a group of these rich kids that treated her like crap, and humiliated her, and made her life hell. So she's got this decades-long plan. Now it's modern day now, so they're in their 40s, right? She has this she's working this revenge deal. She's going to get back at all of them. So she got her GED. She dropped out of that school, disappeared. Her parents were pieces of shit. They didn't care what she was doing. She just disappeared, dropped out of that school because they were abusing her. Nobody at the school would help her. So she just went and started working in some factory. And she was always working. It was showing her working at like late at night, working on something. She got her GED. Then she passed her exams to get into college. And then she eventually got a degree in elementary education, and now at the end of the first episode, she's the teacher of the kid of the main evil woman, the evil girl that was burning her with that iron and all that. Her kid, so she's the kid's teacher, right? And that's how episode 1 ended. So she's got some kind of revenge thing going on in her head. Nobody knows what she's planning to do, but she's the teacher of this girl's kid, of this woman's kid. Are you following me? So the thing's got like a score of 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like critically acclaimed. It's pretty good. I'm about 6 episodes into it. Yeah, liking that. It's got the whole thing is just in Korean, so you have to read the subtitles, which is not a problem. I have no issue with that. Oh my God, I should turn this thing off. Let's see what it is. Let's see, text message. Right. Okay. Anyway, so that's been digging that. I've been watching that myself. Both of my parents have COVID, unfortunately. My dad had some kind of they're both 81. They're not young, And my dad had some kind of procedure done on his ear. He had like some kind of like skin cancer scare. Well, he always has it. Because he spent, his whole life outside when he was younger. He's got skin cancer issues, on his head and, on the tops of his ears and stuff. So he's always constantly going to the doctor about that stuff. And so he was having some kind of procedure done. And he spent hours and hours and hours in this doctor's office. He said everybody's in there hacking and coughing. It's like, he's sitting in there with them. Because they would cut off part of his ear, like dig into this thing. And then they'd do tests on it and make sure that, so he had to go back 3 times. This took 6 hours. He was there for 6 hours. This big, long, drawn-out thing. They even had to do a skin graft. They had to take a square of skin off his chest and graft it onto his ear. This would have devastated me. I'd have never stopped talking about it. It's like nothing to him. He's like, well, whatever. I'm like, if I had to go through some kind of ordeal like that, that would be like one of the most... I'd never stop talking about it, That would be like a devastation to me. He says he just rolls with everything. God. But anyway, he was there for 6 hours. He said everybody's hawking and coughing and, their lungs are rattling, And I said, God, you're probably going to get COVID or something. He goes, I hope not. A couple days later, 3 days later, COVID. He has COVID, Damn it. He made it this far. Neither one of them have ever got it. My parents, but now they both have it. Luckily, it's kind of light. The symptoms are basically just cold symptoms. My dad had a headache and fever on the first night, and then in the next day, But now it's just both of them just have cold symptoms, like head cold, So I think they're going to be all right. It scares me, though. I don't like that shit. I don't want... They're 81, they're in good health, but, if I had the choice, I'd say no COVID for them, But anyway, so they're down there in that elder, for the elderly. It's not for the elderly. It's like a retired community down there. And it's year end. Everybody's like snowbirds. They all go back to their home, wherever they live. They live all over the country. So this coming week is their year end. They have all these festivities and stuff. And they love that stuff. Now they're like, I don't think we're going to be able to participate in any of this. I'm like, I don't know, man. I said, didn't you get this thing like, I mean, it feels like you'll be all right, you know? He goes, yeah, but what about your mother? I said, I don't know. So, I mean, they love that stuff. Now they're not going to be able to, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But they both have COVID. I think they're all right. Well, you know, I feel like they're okay. I've talked to them multiple times a day. The younger boy and I are going to go see the Feelies on Friday in Bethlehem. That'll be bizarre. I don't know what to expect from that, you know, because they have it's like dinner. It says the doors open at 6 for dinner. We have a table where we're going to be eating. I don't know. I don't know what is this, like a dinner theater? I don't understand. I don't really fully understand the whole concept. But anyway, doors open at 6, concert at 7:30. The show's at 7:30. I don't think there's any kind of opening act or anything. And it's in Bethlehem at Steel Stacks, that cool ass place. And you know, it's like an old steel mill. I don't know. It place is crazy. If Google that, I'll put it in the show notes. That place is wild. It's an old steel mill that's collapsing. It's all rusted out and everything. And the roof is caving in. It's cool as hell. I mean, it looks. They've used that as like they built all these businesses around it, and that's like the center of it. It's a bizarre concept that works, you know. And so that's where it's at. Can't wait. It's going to be cool. I was reading on their Facebook page, the Feelies. There's people flying in. There's one guy said he's flying in from Seattle to go to this show. They don't play very often, and they don't play out. I mean, they've been together since 1976. They had 4 albums during their original run. Then they got back together at some point and put out 2 more. So since 1976, they only have 6 albums, and they don't play very often. And so this is a big deal. And we got tickets, and it's Friday. It's gonna be fun. I don't know what the deal is. I mean, you sit there just eating. I don't know what the hell. You just sit there like just eating a carrot or something. Well, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like corn on the cob, you know, while the band's like rocking. Or we'll see. I'll report back. But that's Friday. That'll be fun. And before I go, I have 2 new phone calls that came in over the hotline. This first one is from our old friend Patrick, and here it is.
Hey, Jeff. Patrick here. Hey, man, I missed a few episodes a while back. So today at work, I went back to try to catch up on the ones that I had missed. And I don't remember what number it was, but it was the episode of, are you from Alabammy? You definitely don't sound like you from Alabama. That's for goddamn sure. But I will say this, though, and maybe I'm just picking up on this because I'm born and raised here in Southwest Tennessee. And maybe I'm just picking up on this, and maybe you're Apple. And please don't be self-conscious about this, but every now and then you do say something like, I went to Wendy's and I got a number 2 combo with a large Sprite, and it's not bad, but it's just every now and then like something will slip, and it's just kind of like a little. Maybe I guess it's your Appalachia that's coming out. It's not terrible, but I think that's what happened. You might have said a couple of words that made that lady freak out, but don't worry about it. It happens from time to time. But listen to me, I sound like some kind of backwoods shit kicker. The other thing was, I think it was Eugene that said that he can't understand anything that Ian says on the phone. My friend Paul is from Glasgow, and I've been friends with Paul for like 15 years. And on the phone, I have a hard time understanding him on the phone. But in person, I don't have a problem with it. I think that's what the disconnect is. I think that if Ian and Eugene were together, like having a beer, I don't think that's the problem. I think the phone and like listening to a recording of it, I think that may be the disconnect. Again, hey, that's just my opinion. In the last episode, most recent episode, Ian said his sister is starting to say y'all. Well, I I used to work with this guy from London, and he had a proper London British accent. Like, he could have been like in Parliament, but he would say "ain't." No, that ain't going to happen today. And yeah, it was kind of odd. He'd been Americanized a little bit. I guess he'd been over here a little bit too long. Anyway, my opinions. Take it easy. See ya.
Yeah, so that story with that Alabammy thing. So Steve and I, my friend Steve and I, were sitting in a Five Guys over here in Dixon City, Pennsylvania, which is not far from us. We're sitting there having lunch, talking, just bullshitting, back and forth, eating our enormous greasy hamburgers, which are delicious. You know, they're enormous and they're greasy and they're delicious. And this woman comes over to us and goes, "Excuse me, are you two from Alabama?" You know, we're like, "What? What the hell? What are you talking about?" She goes, we go, "No." And she goes, "Oh, it sounded like I just heard the way you're talking, the way you're talking, and I just assume you're from Alabama." I'm like, "What the hell? Get out of here! Step away from my bushel basket of fries, sister." You know, how offensive. You know, we sound like a couple hicks. I don't think I sound like a hick. I don't know. Maybe I do. I mean, people make comments about, where are you from? You know, do I have like such a thick accent? All right, so you're saying, Patrick, you can hear it sometimes. It pops out when I say Sprite. First of all, I don't ever order a Sprite. It doesn't have any caffeine in it. Bullshit. What the hell is going on? Who are these people texting me? I can't even have a freaking conversation. What the hell? Oh my God, irritating. Turn this shit off. Hold on a second. Power off. Bitches. All right. Hang on a second. Oh, great. Now I've caused chaos in here. It's mayhem. All right, so you're saying every once in a while you can hear it. That's fine. You know, I know. I do. I mean, I grew up in West Virginia. I have a slight accent. Steve has more of an accent, I think, than I do. I could be wrong about that. Anyway, she thought we were from deep Alabammy, from deep down in Alabammy. You know, that's annoying. You know, but I know I'm from West Virginia, and I talk like I'm from West Virginia. That's fine. I mean, I felt a little self-conscious about it, like when I lived in California, because I'd get a lot of comments about it, you know. And so I tried to, temper it a little bit, but not too much. I mean, whatever. You know, I am what I am. I don't, you know, and I still get comments about it every once in a while. I mean, I'm not that self-conscious. I used to be slightly self-conscious about it, but you know, everybody can pack it now. Whatever, you know. I'm not from here, so, and you people talk weird anyway. So I don't know. You got no room. You got no room to criticize me. She wasn't criticizing us. She said her daughter was going to school in Alabama, and anyway, yeah. You're talking about Eugene said he couldn't understand Ian sometimes. You know, I don't have any problem understanding Ian. I think he's pretty clear. I told this story when we were going to England back in, I don't know, whatever year. I sat beside these two Scottish, it was a man and a woman, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't know. And they were super nice, they were friendly, but I couldn't understand a damn thing they were saying. I mean, I literally couldn't understand them. And I don't think they could understand me. I don't know. It felt like we couldn't communicate. And we were both speaking English, you know. Ian, I don't have any problem with. And maybe the phone, I'm sure that does make it a little bit more difficult, like you say. But I don't have any problem with Ian. I mean, I don't know. I think Zip has a problem too. I don't know. Whatever. People talk like where they're from. Like me, I talk like I'm from West Virginia. You know why? Because I'm West Virginia. I'm from West Virginia. I got West Virginia flowing through my veins. And Ian has Scotland, I assume, flowing through. And by the way, they just updated my Ancestry thing. the other day. I'm now even more Scottish. I am like, it's condensed down. I don't know how they keep updating this stuff. I guess they get more information or something. You know, they zero in, make it more precise. But now I only have 3 entries on my my DNA. It's all Scotland, England, and I don't know, Sweden, I think. But the Sweden is very minuscule. But there's only 3 entries. Most people have this big long list. Zimbabwe, what the, you know, that kind of stuff. I only have 3. It's like condensed down. It's all, I think it's something like 47% Scotland. You know, I don't know. Maybe even more. Maybe it's 57%. But it's mostly Scotland, and then England's a big chunk too, and then a small amount of Sweden. That's all I have. So maybe that's why I can understand it easier than some people. But you know, Ian's cool. You know, I have no issue with him, and I want him to call on every episode. It might be putting too much on him, but you know, he's always welcome here. And Eugene's cool too. He can call me too. He was talking about his sister living in Virginia. Ian's sister living in Virginia, saying y'all. Yeah, that's funny. That's hilarious. And you said your buddy was getting Americanized and using ain't all the time. I love that. You know, I love when there's like I knew kids that were like, I don't know, they're from Cuba. You know, when I lived in Dunbar, there was this family. They were Cuban. I mean, the parents were. I mean, they literally left Cuba during the whole Castro thing. So the parents were. I mean, they're Cubans who lived in Cuba, and then they escaped that crap, and they ended up in Dunbar, West Virginia. You know, and they had like same kind of accents. So they were like straight up Cubans, and they had the same hillbilly accents as we did. You know, the parents didn't, of course, but they all sounded like us. The kids did. That's crazy. I remember they had a maid. I mean, this is in Dunbar, West Virginia in the 70s. They had a maid. I had another friend who had a maid. You know, that's crazy. And this other kid who's now no longer with us, passed away, he was mean to his maid. I was like, what the hell? You got a maid in here and you're like abusing her verbally? It's not very nice, you know? He wasn't very nice to her. I was over at his house a couple times. He was like yelling at her and stuff. I'm like, what kind of dynamic is this? This is a bizarre thing for me, for a West Virginia hillbilly in 1970s, you know? I've never seen anybody with a maid, and I certainly never seen anybody being mean to a maid. These are all new experiences for me. Anyway, I got off track there, Patrick, but thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. I never order Sprite, but I know what you're saying, and you were just using that as a sort of an example, you know. The only time no. All right, we're way off on a tangent already. This next call is from Steve, Texas, and here it is.
Hey, Jeff, Steve in Texas. Hey, am I tripping, or was episode 313 pretty much the exact same as episode 314? I feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone episode or something, but let me know if I'm off. I think there's a disturbance in the force here, sir. By the way, favorite Phil Hendrie character, hands down, Ted Bell. Talk to you. See ya.
Yeah, I think I screwed up, messed up the Patreon episode last time. I uploaded the wrong file, but I fixed it. I mean, I don't know. Ian actually contacted me. He goes, I think you messed up the Patreon episode. And so I fixed it. I mean, that was pretty quickly. You must have jumped right on it. I think it's fixed now. If it's not, then I don't know. I mean, nobody said anything. I mean, Ian told me that it was jacked up, you know, maybe like 2 hours after I uploaded it. But, and I fixed it immediately. And, you know, if it's still messed up, let me know. But I think I fixed it, so. Or what are you, or maybe you're just saying I talked about the same stuff. That's possible. Maybe I misunderstood what you're saying. Maybe you're saying I talked about the same subjects. I don't know. I hope not. I mean, I try to mix it up a little bit. But anyway, thanks for calling, Steve. I do appreciate it. You said your favorite Phil Hendrie character is Ted Bell. Yeah, Ted's solid. That's a solid choice, I've always liked, I have many favorites. It's hard to pick. But Lloyd Bonafide kills me. That guy kills me. I like Jay Santos of the Citizens Auxiliary Police. I like Ted Bell. There's so many. Margaret Gray. There's so many. But Ted's a solid choice. He's hilarious with his snobby attitude, with his Ted's of Beverly Hills, his restaurant, where if somebody comes in there and they order a steak medium well or well done, he just kicks them out. He doesn't want them in here. And if like a Ford F-150 pickup truck pulls onto his parking lot, it sends him straight into a dry heave because he can't handle. It's an upscale restaurant. He can't have hick trucks out there stuff. He starts vomiting just the sight of a pickup truck pulling. He's like a big snob. He also created the very first what is it? Gin and tonic or something. What is it? Oh man, I should know this. It's been a long time, but it's like it's called the Ted. It's basically gin and tonic. I don't know. I don't think it's gin and tonic. I think I'm wrong about that, but it's some kind of very simple cocktail that he claims to have invented, and it's called the Ted. He also has he claims to be the first person that ever wrapped aluminum foil around a baked potato. All this stuff. Oh, he's God. That show, the Phil Hendrie Show, is like a universe. You talk about the metaverse that this Zuckerberg's trying to build. Phil Hendrie already created a universe filled with people and ideas and personalities and thousands of laughs. So great, man. When he had a syndicated show from 99, I think, or something like that, 2000 maybe, to 2006. That is that is magic, man. So Ted of Beverly Hills, or Ted's of Beverly Hills, Ted, owner of Ted's of Beverly Hills, is your favorite by far. I cannot argue with that. Solid choice. And that's it, I think. I think we're at the end of this thing. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be late for work, I decided I'm just going to be late for work to record this episode. I've got a time crunch. Everything's crunched with this going in at noon bullshit. I mean, I can't get anything done. My kids are here all the time. They're both at work. Well, yeah, they're both at work right now. So on Mondays are pretty much an open day. So, and today's Monday. So, I'm going to be late. These are the sacrifices to get the podcast moving along again. So if you want 2 of these, I will get another one done this week. I'll squeeze in another one for the Patreon side. If you want to hear that Patreon episode, which will be out in a few days, you can do it by signing up for a patronage over at patreon.com. That's Patreon, patreon.com/JeffK. Sign up for a $4 or more monthly donation, and you'll get that extra episode every week. It's pretty good. It's a good deal. It's good value. So, and it helps me out a lot. So, $4 will do it. So, patreon.com/JeffK is where you can get all that done. And the website is surfreportpod.com. That's the website for the podcast. And I think that'll do it. All the other stuff. You can call in and be a part of the show like Patrick and Steve did at 570-290-8151. So all that's in the show notes, and I think that'll do it for today. Thank you guys for listening. I'll be back soon over on the Patreon side. And until then, you guys have yourselves a fine day. I'll see ya. Bye.
Ted's a Beverly Hills Steakhouse. Come on down. Here at Ted's, we want to put our meat in your mouth.
The hell? Oh my God, irritating. Turn this shit off. Hold on a second. Power off. Bitches. All right. Hang on a second. Oh, great.